We are back with Scott Braddock talking about preparing for the future financially. We have a whole slew of 529 questions, Scott, so get ready. Here we go. Here's the first one. Is it true that you can roll part of a 529 into a Roth IRA if all the funds aren't used?
Oh, this is a great question because it really offers a solution when a student does not use their 529 that was designated to them, or they don't use all of the funds. You do have the opportunity to roll that remaining balance in the 529 into a Roth. Now, that Roth needs to be titled in the name of that child or that individual, right? But that's an excellent way to move the funds out of the 529, and you can roll that right into the Roth. And again, that's the vehicle that grows tax-free and you can take from it tax-free. It's a great option and strategy.
So I guess my question is, if you are doing that, do you then have to pay taxes when you're rolling it over for a 529 to a Roth? Are you going to
No,
lose some money?
Right. No, that is the benefit, is that you don't have to pay the
Okay.
taxes. You can roll it right over into a Roth. Because if you think about the Roth, you pay taxes on the money going into the Roth and then it grows tax free. Well, the 529 is similar in that we pay taxes on the money going into the 529, but it can be tax free coming out if we use it for college expenses. So the Roth is the same way, and that's why it works to roll that over into the Roth.
I see. Okay. This next question is, I've heard this. Is it true? Does investing in the 529 reduce your chance of receiving financial scholarships or grants for your child?
Well, it certainly can, because this is going to be looked at as an asset for that child. And so when they try to apply for scholarships and grants and financial aid in general, you have to list all the assets of the child and the parents or the guardian as well. So the answer to that question is yes, it could potentially affect college funding.
Okay. If I have a 529 for my grandchildren and I had to be admitted to a nursing home, do I have to cash in the 529? I think they're thinking that it's their money, but it's not their money once they put it in there.
Yeah, that's well, in a way that's true, because you're setting the 529 plan up in the child's name. You're sort of the custodian. You're the one contributing to the 529, but at the end of the day, it belongs to the child. It's in the child's name. So if you needed to go into a nursing home, they would not force you to cash that out. But I see where the question is coming from, and this would not be what's considered an asset that is counted by those folks that would evaluate you for Medicaid.
Okay. This next question is, what is the best way to handle the minimum required distribution on an IRA? And maybe you should just even talk about why that is, what that is.
Right. So the RMD, or the required mandatory distribution, is something that is a requirement on our tax deferred retirement accounts. So those 401ks and those IRAs, not the Roth. And so at a certain age, they're going to force you to start taking out a certain amount. It's a formula based on the amount in those tax deferred accounts, those retirement accounts, and your life expectancy. And so there's our strategies. I certainly suggest meeting with a financial professional to learn the strategies that are available when you are forced to start taking that money out and paying taxes. Taxes is going to be the tail that wags the dog in the future, especially when those distributions start. So there is a lot of great planning around taking those R&D strategically from IRA accounts and 401ks.
My question is this too, because especially if you give to charity and things of that nature, could you have checks or whatever from your IRA RMD and then write the checks like that, charity-wise, to help with your taxes?
Yes, you can. And I really appreciate the tax questions. I mean, tax planning is so important right now. There's just so much going on, and there's little education, there's little knowledge out there for folks there's a lot of noise, but how do you cut through all that noise and know what's right in your situation? And that's why you really need to meet with someone and get the answers to these great questions. And yes, there's certain ways where you can use your IRAs. If you're giving to a church, if you're giving to a charity, you can give it from your IRA, and that can be a tax deduction for you. It can count towards your required minimum distribution. That question can lead to some wonderful planning.
Kills a couple birds with one stone, right? Okay. We're going to take another quick break. We've got one more segment for you. So if you need a question to be answered, this is when you need to get it in. 336-379-5775.